All right, y'all, I'm back. Let's pick it up. Welcome to the free astrotheology course. I am Dr. Yesapa from Zion Law School. I had to go abruptly during the last video, but I'm back. So let's pick it back up. We talked about the last thing we were on is Adam Kadmon and the five-pointed star. So let's go to Clock of Destiny, Volume 2. And y'all can download this on enforcetheconstitution.org. I think it's study material for Moors. So here we go. The sons, the S-O-N, sons of a widow, a woman, that has reference to the circumpolar zodiac before there ever was a solar zodiac projection. In other words, the information we have about the widow and the woman is a remix, is a story retold that has its origin in the ancient circumpolar zodiac projection. So the sons of a woman are the only supreme beings, circumpolar zodiac reference again, of whom can stand in the form of a cross. So the cross is the solstitial line and the equinoctial line. So you'll see the priest, Catholic priests make a cross. What they're really doing when they make that cross, the vertical line is the solstitial line, the horizontal line is the equinoctial line. So summer solstice in the north, winter solstice in the south. June 22nd, draw a straight line down, takes you to December 22nd. That's the solstitial line. The horizontal line is the equinoctial line. So March 22nd is the vernal or spring equinox. Draw a line from March 22nd over a straight line and you'll get September 22nd, which is the fall or autumn equinox. Now, this circle, imagine the universe, okay? And then draw a circle around it at the poles, at the North Pole and the South Pole. Draw a circle around it, okay? Now put a cross inside the circle, okay? Put a cross inside the circle. And this perimeter, the circular perimeter, and the cross, its functionality is to make it so that you can tell time. Yeah, make it so that you can tell the time. So that you can be a good chronologer. So that you can be on time with your affairs on the earth plane. All right, so, excuse me. So the only supreme beings, keep that in mind. The sons of the woman are supreme beings, of whom can stand in the form of a cross, five-pointed star, and in a straight line, whether standing erect or lying down. So let me see if I can find this again for y'all. This time I'm going to search Leonardo da Vinci. I think it's Da Vinci. Yeah. Yeah, here we are. So let me show you an image. Everybody probably knows this image. If I can find it. So there you are, Adam Kadmon with his hands extended. All right, with his legs extended, that's the 5-pointed star. And there he is also with his legs together. Okay, Adam Kadmon, perfect man. And y'all see this is the Zodiac. This is the perfect man in the Zodiac with the solar and moon projection. And guess what? The moon is prominent. The moon has a prominent role in the circumpolar zodiacal projection. All right, now you take note. Take note that his head is at the North Pole. Huh? His head is in the North Pole. Well, what's in the head? Well, the brain, right? That's where your communications of thought, where mind expresses itself, okay? And the feet are in the South Pole. Now, there are constellations at the North Pole and in the South Pole. And along with them, and the moon was the way our ancestors originally, the stars and the moon, that's how they originally told time. Had nothing to do with the sun sun. That came in when the Hermetic or the dynastic pharaoh period came in about 6,000 years ago, according to the story. Y'all hear, prior to that, we were telling time by the constellations in the North Pole. And the moon had nothing to do with the sun sun, all right? So y'all remember, remember that. Remember that. Now the widow, this mother, this woman, is also in the North Pole area, region. Prominent in the circumpolar zodiac. See, circumpolar, rotating around the North Pole and the South Pole, those constellations. Okay, y'all? That's where the woman is. Nothing to do with Virgo. Who's the woman? Who is the woman in the solar zodiacal projection? So let's keep going. So we dealt with the cross. Well, let me show y'all the cross. I need to take a picture of this because sometimes this image is hard to find for some reason for me. Okay, so here's the cross. These are both crosses, okay? The one with the vertical and horizontal lines, that's of course the regular old Christian cross. And then this one, this is the Ta cross, which is more ancient, Ta. This is one of the ancient Ibaryath pictographs too, y'all. See, it looks like an X, right? The lines are oblique. Okay, y'all? Notice the circle. Notice the circle around the cross. So now what are we looking at? We're looking at, y'all just be patient, okay? So take a look. The vertical line, the top of the vertical line would be the North Pole. The bottom of the vertical line would be the South Pole. Okay, if you're looking at, if we're looking at this from the zodiac, from the solar zodiac projection, the top of the line would be the summer solstice, and then the bottom of the line would be the winter solstice. The horizontal line would be the equinoxes, the vernal or spring equinox and the autumn and fall equinox. Okay, y'all got that? That's a solar zodiac projection. But if we're looking at it from the circumpolar zodiac projection, that top line, or the vertical line, is going to be the North Pole. And then the bottom of the vertical line is going to be, again, the South Pole. All right? So y'all imagine Hiram Abiff, the Moor, Adam Kadmon, imagine him laying there on the horizontal line dead, civilly dead, with his head in Aries, which is the Lamb of God. The Lamb of God, of course, is Christianity, Jesus. Jesus is the Lamb of God. That's religious doctrine. And his feet in the scales, Libra, in the scales of justice, Ma'at. Okay? So, he's civilly dead with his mind, his thought, his hopes, dreams, desires, aspirations, fears. Everything about his psychology is in religion. And his feet are in the scales of justice, where he's being what? He's receiving punishment, curses. He's in the curses for not following the Most High's commandments. Y'all see that? But when Hiram Abiff stands up erect, when the Moor stands up erect, he becomes civilly alive and full of life, and propria persona. I'll show y'all some more of that. I've done it before, but I'll show y'all if I have the writs with me. I'll show you what's all involved in that. Okay, with his head in the North Pole, which means he has a totally different mindset. He has the what? The mindset of the blessings. Deuteronomy 28, verse 16. Deuteronomy 28, verse 1 through 14. And his feet in the South Pole. He's standing erect. Not with his feet. His head in the North Pole, my arm getting tired. With his head in the North Pole and his feet the South Pole. All right, so we're going to get into that and what this means. This is when Hiram Abiff is standing erect, he's in full life, in propria persona. He becomes descendable. Okay, and don't forget we talked about masculine. We talked about the Hermetic Law of mental gender. So now let's go back to C and Bay. Let's go back to C and Bay. The sons of a widow, a woman, are the only supreme beings of whom can stand in the form of a cross, five-pointed star, and in a straight line, whether standing erect or lying down. All right, standing erect with it. He continues. When sons, S-O-N-S, when sons are lying asleep, they are lying on a dead level. Y'all see, look at the part where that's underlined here. All right, y'all can screenshot it, pause it on the replay. So when the widow's sons, I'm sorry, not the underlined part, but here. So y'all read it there. Read this one. Third line. Okay, y'all? When the widow's sons are lying asleep, they're lying on a dead level. See the horizontal line? Okay? Imagine laying on that line with your head in the east and your feet in the west. The east, your head would be again the Lamb of God, which is Aries, which is Christianity, right? Which is Jesus. Or in other words, Christian doctrine or Islamic doctrine, right? Because they also deal with the Christian doctrine. And the feet in the west, again, which is the scales, Libra. The scales of what? Justice. Ma'at. All right, yo? Now let's continue. And when standing erect, they represents the suns, are perpendicular at right angle of 90 degrees of their previous position. Y'all see that? Standing at 90 degrees of their previous position on the dead level. Okay, so the vertical line is the more standing erect. And look at the intersection of the vertical and horizontal line. You'll notice that it's what? 90 degrees. That's a 90-degree angle. Y'all see it? That's a 90-degree angle. All right? So when suns stand erect, hold on, y'all. Let me let that noise go. Come on. Can I have ice? This is a good day to live stream because there's really nobody here. Can I have ice, please? All right, y'all. So again, it says, when suns stand erect, their head represents the North Pole. See, y'all, their head represents the North Pole. What's in their head? Thank you. What's in the head again? The functionality of the mind. So in other words, the mind is no longer in Christianity. The mind is no longer in religion. The mind is what? The mind has returned. In other words, the Moor has returned to that state of mind of his ancient foremothers and forefathers. Look at it again. The circumpolar zodiac projection is hundreds of thousands, or let me rephrase that. The circumpolar zodiac projection is as ancient can be. That's the mindset of our ancient foremothers and forefathers. Okay? The solar zodiacal projection, represented by the horizontal line, is only about 6,000 years old. The Lamb of God represents JC, the Christ figure, Jesus. This is where the story of the historical Jesus comes from. Y'all see it? So when the Moor stands up, his head, his mind, is no longer in a religious mindset. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's no longer in the solar, It's no longer in the solar zodiac projection. His mind has returned to what? That state of mind of his ancient foremothers and forefathers, where they calculated time based upon the stars in the north and the moon. In other words, the vertical line is the blessings, the full possession and enjoyment of the birthright. Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 1 through 14. Y'all heard? Now, let me continue reading. That arm is getting tired. Let me show this. When sons are lying asleep, they are lying on a dead level, the horizontal line, y'all. And when standing erect, the sons, are perpendicular at right angle of 90 degrees. Y'all see the intersection between the vertical and horizontal line. That angle is 90 degrees, so therefore it's the vertical line is perpendicular to the horizontal. Y'all see that? There's a 90-degree angle. All right? So, and when standing erect, they are perpendicular at right angle of 90 degrees of their previous position on a dead level, on a civilly dead level. Also what, y'all? On a mentally dead level. When suns stand erect, their head represents the North Pole. That's the top of the vertical line. And their feet represents the South Pole. That's a circumpolar zodiac projection, y'all. When lying on a dead level, their head represents the East. The East, y'all, represents Aries. The zodiac sign Aries, which is the Lamb of God, which is Jesus, the historical Jesus, who is the Lamb of God. Therefore, it represents religion, Christianity. Okay? So when lying on a dead level, the sun's head represents the East, or Aries, or Jesus. All right? They're in the state of mind, sweet Jesus. All right? Going to heaven and all of that stuff. And their feet represents the West. Their feet represents Libra, which is the scales of justice. So they got to do what? They got to walk out. They got to walk out those punishments. They got to walk out those curses. Deuteronomy chapter 28, 14 through 68. They got to walk out those curses. Their feet are in the scales, Libra. These two positions of suns, S-O-N-S, suns form the universal cross, which represents latitude north and south and longitude east and west. So the vertical line, y'all see, is latitude north and south, and longitude east and west. So both of these lines, these are the same lines showing opposite ends of the same line. So this is the Hermetic law of polarity. Y'all see that? This fact makes woman and son and perfection. This fact makes woman and creation and perfection. In other words, the foundation of geometry. Why? Because based upon this, you can go anywhere, you can travel anywhere. Based upon where you are, you can calculate, you can determine where you are according to the stars, and then you can determine where you want to go using geometry and navigate there. Y'all see that? Suns can also stand in the form of a cross with their arms extended from each side. So let me go back to the image I just showed y'all. suns can also stand in the form of a cross with their arms extended from each side. They can also stand in the form of a five-pointed star with their feet far apart. Y'all see that? There's the cross, the arms extended and the 2 feet together, and then the five-pointed star with the arms extended and the feet extended. Their head, their right arm, their left arm, their right foot, and their left foot. Y'all count them, that's 5. Thus, suns represent the 5 great principles of womans. That's talking about the northern or the circumpolar zodiac projection. The 5 great principles of woman's universal supreme perfection in the course of 9 months gestation, y'all. All right? The 6-pointed star of the Moorish nation referred to as the Jewish Star of David. So we're not going to go into that, okay? So everybody see? There it is. So Prophet Noble Ali passed that information over to CM Bay. And then, of course, the half has not been told. The half has not been told. But this, I don't know what to call it. This information about the solar zodiacal projection pointed us back to where we need to go in order to what, y'all? In order to return to that mindset of our ancient foremothers and forefathers. I hope I made it clear, and I hope if this is new to you, I hope you'll give it some serious thought and consideration. I especially hope you don't get mad at me or call me a charlatan or I don't mean to laugh. I know this is a serious matter for a lot of people. But I mean, y'all take it for what it is, right? And I don't know if anyone else has I've never heard anybody talk like I'm talking right now, say the things that I'm saying. But that doesn't mean that I've heard everything or I think I know everything. What I'm trying to say is don't be married. Don't be married to let me not say that. Don't reject information until you research it. How about I put it like that? So let me show this again, and then we'll get into our topic for today. So don't reject it, y'all, if this is new to you, especially Moors. Especially Moors, don't reject this if this is new to you. So this is page 38. Y'all see page 38? Clock of Destiny. Volume 2. Let me show the book cover. Y'all can download this on enforcetheconstitution.org and then check it out, right? Decide if you want to give C.M. Bay's work full faith and credit. But, you know, y'all have to, I'm going to show y'all something in the Zodiac Constitution, okay? regarding this. So, Clock of Destiny, Volume 2. Master Key of Civilization. Y'all hear that? Master Key of Civilization. He says here, especially for initiated Masons, this is not Freemasons. Masons means mother and son. He takes you through that. In other words, every Moor is a Mason. My son. I mean, when I grew up, everybody in all my siblings, we called our mother Ma. My son. Mason. And Eastern stars, 3rd, 32nd, and 33rd degrees. Valuable stones come in small packages. If you are afraid of the truth, beware of this book. If you are afraid of the truth, beware of this book. All right, y'all. So a lot of people, might not like what we just went through. In other words, in order to return to the mindset of our ancient foremothers and forefathers, we need to shift to the circumpolar zodiacal projection. And tell time based upon the stars, the constellations in the north and the south with the moon. This explains why the moon is so prominent, right, in our everyday lives. But let me go to the point in the Zodiac Constitution, all right? So I can just show y'all the seriousness of what I'm going through. This is no small matter, no small matter. The Zodiac Constitution by C.M. Bay. Copyright AA 222141, Library of Congress, Washington, D.C. Now that copyright, that AA 222141, this is our status as the autochthonous, aboriginal, ab meaning first, original, fathers, or the indigenous, whatever term you want to use, okay? The Zodiac Constitution. So, let me show you the seriousness of this. Now, y'all remember, Noble Drew Ali said that the half has not been told, all right? He said the half has not been told. All right, so Article 6. Y'all, it's 6 for a reason. If I remember correctly, 6 means the perfect man. So Adam Kadmon, that we just talked about, standing erect with his head at the North Pole. Let me say the Moor, the resurrected Moor, standing erect with his head representing the North Pole and his feet representing the South Pole, completely out of religion completely mentally out of the Lamb of God in all of its expressions or manifestations. Article 6. Page 6, Article 6, page 6, 66, right? And 6, again, is not a, 6 is not an evil number, 666 is not an evil number. It's the perfect man. It was just hidden from us. And we were taught a false reality that it's an evil number. No, it is not. So this is on page 6 of the Zodiac Constitution, Article 6. I'm going to start with the last paragraph. And we're going to go over to page 7, okay? So y'all read that. Take a screenshot. Again, y'all can download it. It's very easy to find if you go to study materials on enforcetheconstitution.org. It's very easy to find. You can get a copy of the Constitution, the organic Constitution, anything you need, you can get it there. Hold on. I am on time, writes Steadfast King. Really appreciate what you do. Islam, Assalamu alaikum. I, self-law, am master. I am on time. I appreciate that. And I understand what you mean by I am on time. So I am, and then y'all, chronology, the ability to tell time. And our ancient foremothers and forefathers told time using the stars in the north and the south poles and the moon. Okay? It's only over the last 6,000 years or so, according to their story, about the pharaonic dynasties coming in and taking over, that we get this sun being God, and then our lives and time being managed by the sun and the ecliptic. Okay, that's all new. So I got you. I understand it. I understand totally what you mean. I am on time. All right. Y'all see how at some level we know this, right? It's already in us. It's already in us. We know this. I am on time. I mean, think about that. I am on time. That's cosmic if there ever was anything that could be cosmic. And it is cosmically correct. So let's go through this. Knowledge of zodiac masonry, as shown in this Moorish constitution, and also in my book, Clock of Destiny, Volume 1 and 2, will prevent a Moorish American, there's our nationality, he or she, from indulging in crime. In other words, you follow natural law and there will be no crime committed. In other words, you maintain your birthright. You maintain your birthright. When you commit crime, now remember, we're talking about natural law. We're talking about, in religion, you always say the Most High's commandments, or the law of Moses. So when you commit a crime, in religion and in ancient civics, that's called what? Corruption of the blood. Corruption of the blood of the covenant. It's a crime. a high crime, a felony. A high crime, a felony. Get you kicked out of the promised land. The land that the Most High gave to your ancient foremothers and forefathers, and that they gave to you as an inheritance. Get you kicked out of it. Get you kicked out of your nationality. In other words, you lose your nationality, you become civilly dead. You suffer from chronic illnesses like asthma, heart disease, all of them. Chronic illnesses, early, untimely physical death. You suffer from civil death, statelessness. Deuteronomy chapter 28. As a matter of fact, let me read this, okay, y'all? Let's make the correlation. So this is not religion, this is natural law. So let's go to Deuteronomy 28. The Most High's commandments are natural law, y'all. So I'm going to come out of the New International Version only because it's at the top of the search menu. So verse 15. Curses for disobedience. However, if you do not obey the Most High your power and do not carefully follow all his commands, it's actually the better translation is follow all of his instructions, okay? Follow all his instructions, follow all of his laws and decrees I am giving you today, not yesterday and not tomorrow. Not what he said to Adam, not what he said, not instructions or commands that he gave to Adam, not commands that he gave to Enoch, not commands that he gave to Abraham, not commands that he gave to anyone other than what? Moses. Today is a timestamp, and not commands that he would give tomorrow or the next week or the next year or over the next 5,000 years. In other words, not a command that he gave to Nehemiah, not a command that he gave to David or to Jesus. It says what? If you do not carefully obey the Most High your power and do not carefully follow all of his commands and decrees I am giving you today. That's Moses speaking. So the commands that were given to Moses through the Most High. All right, y'all see that? So it ain't got nothing to do with the New Testament. It ain't got nothing to do with Noahide laws. It ain't got nothing to do with any other covenant, like an Abrahamic covenant. He continues, all these curses is abstract, punishments is abstract, right? Our people have and always had, until we were conquered, a concrete paradigm. We expressed ourselves through our senses. But anyway, see, if you come to our class, 506 The Curses course, you'll learn how to express this concretely. Also how to interpret the ancient language. Okay, and you can see what's hidden underneath this English. It says, then all of these curses or punishments will come on you and overtake you. 16, you will be cursed in the city and you will be cursed in the country. In other words, there's no escape. As I mentioned before, and y'all who have been in my classes, y'all know, you've seen it yourself, that the mechanism of the curses or the punishments that will follow you everywhere, whether you are in the Americas, North, South, Central, the adjoining islands, whether you are in Africa, any of the many countries there, Europe or Asia. They will follow you. And what's the mechanism? And I know it for a fact because I've traveled. The mechanism is this: public policy and the courts institutionalized harassment until you are destroyed. For what, y'all? As C.M. Bay says, let's go back to what C.M. Bay says. Knowledge of the Zodiac masonry, knowledge of natural law, as shown in this Moorish constitution. Knowledge of the Zodiac masonry, knowledge of natural law, knowledge of the Most High's commandments, as shown in this Moorish constitution. And also in my book, Clock of Destiny, Volume 1 and 2, will prevent a Moorish American, he or she, from indulging in crime. Right? So when you indulge in that crime, you corrupt the blood of the covenant. You commit a felony. In law, that means what? There's a term let me see if I have the bills of attainder. See, bills of attainder are legislative acts against a specific person, man or woman, or group. Okay? Or group. Like blacks, Negroes. Oh, do I have it? I may not have it. I left some of my tools at the house, y'all, because it's raining and I didn't want to get them all. I didn't want to risk getting everything wet. No. Wait. Maybe I have something here. Hold on. No, I don't have it. I don't have any cases with me. I mean, any writs with me, not cases. I don't have any writs with me. So anyway, so these serious crimes result in attainder, bills of attainder, where you lose your right to inherit. You become non-descendable, a stateless person. So in other words, the Moor is lying down dead, civilly dead, with his head in the east and his feet in the west. Civilly dead, a stateless person. In the curses, Deuteronomy 28, 14 through 68. If y'all don't know what they are, go ahead and read them. Show up to my 506 The Curses course and let me know that you want to participate in the course. If you want to be in the class, just let me know. You didn't have to pay anything right away. You can come experience it. And if you want to continue, you can pay a small tuition. It's very small amount. All right? But now let's continue, y'all. Let's continue. They then, back on page 6, they then would not have to appear in the courtroom to stand trial. Now, y'all, are they courtrooms? No. They're synagogues. They are synagogues with the magician sitting in a pulpit. Okay? They are high-level Freemasons or other secret society members. It's a synagogue. And they're doing religion. They're doing religion. They give you a hint because they call it Judeo-Christian legal system. They wear a black robe. And that black robe is what? They're imitating, they're presenting Zoroaster. One of their, if not their major deity, the Black Prince. And that's also a remix of nature. That's another story. But y'all can get more on that in the Devil's Pulpit. Let's continue. So in North America, it's a de facto courtroom that doesn't have, not only courtroom, de facto, uh, uh, it's the corporate United States company and the state of this and the state of that. They're not courts. They're private corporations. Okay? So they are acting as judges, but in fact they're not. They're administrative officers. All right? Engaged in trafficking. They're engaged in putting people in bondage, trading people, all right? And housing people to get their energy. Let's keep going. Should a Moorish American who has this Constitution and Book 1 and Book 2, the Zodiac Constitution and Clock of Destiny, Volume 1 and 2 is what he's talking about, indulge in crime such as narcotics, robbery, forgery, prostitution, illegal whiskey or alcohol, illegal schemes, gambling, peace breaking, violence, and disrespect for the law of a city, country, state, and federal, they have incriminated themselves and therefore will be penalized. This Constitution, listen y'all, this Constitution, the Zodiac Constitution card, that's our nationality card, and book, Zodiac Constitution, the Clock of Destiny, definitely does not protect criminals. Well, absolutely, right? I mean, that's a law of cause and effect. The Hermetic Law of cause and effect. Now, notice this, what's in italics. The Clock of Destiny, Moorish American Card of Identification, and Constitution has been registered in the Library of Congress and signed by the author, C.M. Bay. And then he goes on, a Moorish American cannot be convicted on false accusation, framed up charges. So in other words, if there's a lack of jurisdiction, then there's no possibility of a conviction, right, y'all? Because what are we dealing with? Constitution and treaty. So let me show y'all. Y'all see that? So you will see these documents used in the Holy Writs, the brilliant, bright, and sunny writs. And I don't have any with me. I left them out. I didn't bring them because of the weather. If y'all saw my Devil's Pulpit book, how it looks because it got wet. But anyway, we use the Clock of Destiny, Zodiac Constitution, in our writs. Man, let me check one more time, y'all, see if I have one so I can show y'all how it's used. Nope. I don't have it. Yeah, I didn't bring any. Oh well. So y'all can watch the other videos if y'all want to see it. So let's get into the services. Come on. Come on. Can you take this? Yeah. Can you take this? Yeah, thanks. Thank you. All right, y'all. Let's get into it. Our topic for today is the fourth house. So, I don't know if I introduced the course. Welcome to the free astrotheology course. This is our textbook, primary textbook, the Astrology of the Old Testament, or the Lost Word Regained, published in 1892 by Carl Anderson. So we're on page 175. It's hard to believe we went through this book so quickly. Page 174. All right. So a link to the free PDF is in the community section. I think I put it in the community section, y'all. Hold on. So y'all can pause this. There it is. The fourth house. If y'all don't have the book, or for whatever reason you don't go to the community section, you can all right, here we go. The fourth house signifies the father, the end of all matters, the grave, the end of all matters. Okay, the grave, old people in general. So what I'm getting from that is the life cycle, right? Or the cycle of nature in the solar zodiac projection, cycle of nature, springtime, next generation, ongoing generations, right? Ongoing generations, new vegetation. It matures in the summer. In July, the intense heat of the SUN sun helps the mature vegetation, the fruit, everything, the seeds, ripen for the harvest in August and September. So now we have the ongoing generation, or birth and grow, maturity, and then decline, right? Ripening represents decline. So the fruits become ripe, and then they decline, and then at the end of fall, winter time represents what? Death. The orientation is the northern hemisphere. So everything freezes. If you freeze something, it's going to die, right? Because the metabolism isn't working. All right, so decline or deterioration, death. When the death happens, before it freezes, the breakdown will occur, right? The flesh, the vegetation will begin to break down. And when it breaks down, it becomes what? Nutrients. It becomes nutrients. If all of the biological material is broken down and the only thing that's left is minerals, well, the minerals become nutrients. And then it freezes over the winter, and then when the energy of the winter starts to die out, then those nutrients, when they're thawed out, become nutrients. The biological material or whatever becomes nutrients, food for the plants, so that they can produce the ongoing or next generation. We're back to springtime, and then the cycle repeats itself, okay? So the fourth house signifies the father. The end of all matters, the grave, old people in general, lands, that's birthright, that's inheritance, that's descendability. Houses, that's the same thing. Tenements, that's the same thing. Real estate, that's the same thing. Inheritances. So now, y'all see, this is taking us back into the Treaty of Peace and Friendship between the United States of North America, between the Moroccan Empire, and the United States of North America, the foreign United States of America. So here's our treaty. This comes from the Library of Congress. Okay, y'all can pause this on the replay. I'm not going to go through the details, but y'all can observe this. Now, I also downloaded this from enforcetheconstitution.org. Let me tell y'all, anybody who's been around this movement for any length of time, they'll tell you that this treaty, a lot of this information is very hard to find in its pristine state. Y'all see the stamp from the Library of Congress? So this is authentic document. That's my point. It's an authentic document. You can use it. Okay, so here we see. Hold on, y'all. September 18th, 1836. Proclamation of the President of the U.S. September 16th, 1836. Treaty with Morocco. Y'all check it out. Uh-oh. Let me see. How is that? I don't know if y'all can see that well. I don't know how this looks to y'all, but on my end it kind of, okay, it looks better now. It was kind of blurry. So y'all pause this on the replay, okay, so y'all can come back and read this. But you can download it yourself. I already gave y'all the website, enforcetheconstitution.org. Let's go to the next page. Oops, that's the same page. Hold on. So why am I showing you this? Well, I'm showing you this because it involves several of the houses of the Zodiac. All right? That's why I'm showing you. So the fourth house signifies the father. Now, that's going to be your fleshly father on one level, right? On another level, that's all of your fathers. right? That's all of your fathers, because property is passed from one generation to the next. In other words, the ongoing generation, the flow of property through the generations, all right? So man is thought made manifest from the soil. Man is thought clothed in soil, presented as flesh. Thought is a function of the mind. Mind is the first of the Hermetic Laws. And the other 6 laws emanate or have their origin from mind. This is why there never was a time when man was not, because mind has no beginning and it has no end. This is why man was not or is not subject to birth. Man is not subject to death. Mind is consciousness, all awareness, all imagination, all intelligence, all that there ever was, will be, and all that there is. Y'all see? There never was a time when man was not. Energy, consciousness, energy, awareness, energy cannot be created or destroyed. This is a scientific fact. The second law of thermodynamics. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only transform. So there is no beginning. There is no creative beginning. There is no beginning of time. Period. Science tells you that, but we've been brainwashed by evolution, right? They brainwashed us in the classroom with evolution, shamed you if you didn't believe in it, right? Kicked you out of your profession, called you a charlatan if you didn't believe in and teach evolution. There is no beginning. And you can never, I show you a simple demonstration. When has it ever been possible to get something from nothing? Do it. Do it. And let everybody observe. It's impossible. You can only get something from something. And then that something can be dispensed or dispersed or separated and cut up, emanate in various forms of whatever that something is. Y'all see the point? So man is mind. Land is an expression or a manifestation or a vibration at a lower rate of vibration of mind, of consciousness. And then man is clothed in land, clothed in soil. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. Therefore, man is a rightful heir of all land, resources. I know y'all heard me say this a million times. All land, all resources, air, land, air, and water, oil, gas, cosmic energy, contracts, and commerce, etc. We are the rightful heirs. And when the heir speaks, he's speaking law. Right? That's why anything you say can and will be used against you, because you're speaking law, whether you know it or not. So let's go back to this. The 4th house signifies the father. Who our fathers were, we are. Without a doubt or contradiction. That's who we are. Not just Moors, but literally. I know a lot of you Christians and Hebrew Israelites don't like to hear that. Okay? That flies in the face of a lot of Bible doctrine, doesn't it? So it signifies the father. So now let's go to it. Give me 1 second, y'all. Trying to decide where I want to start. Let's start in Article 22. Article 22. I think this is 21 and 22 are probably the most famous, well-known of the articles, right, y'all? Look at 22. Y'all see where it says property, will. What else does it say? Effects should be in there, right? Trusts. So let's go to 22. Here's how it reads, y'all. If an American citizen shall die in our country, so there's physical and civil death, called Civiliter, Mortuus, and then there's physical death. Civil death is going to be manifest as an all caps name or a nom de guerre. Okay? The straw, a legal person, ens legis, 14th Amendment citizen, okay? Corporation. If an American citizen shall die in our country, and no will shall appear, the consul, consul, shall take possession of his effects. That's the second line of Article 22. The second line of Article 22. Y'all see it? Is it clear now? The fourth house is dealing with Article 22. The consul, consul, as in consular jurisdiction and venue. Article 3, court. Legitimate. Article 3, court, right? Not a de facto court. And no will shall appear. All right? The council shall take possession of his effects, his inheritance, his property. And if there shall be no consul, consul, not consular, not a lawyer, not an attorney, but a counsel, consul. And if there shall be no consul, the effects, the inheritance, the property shall be deposited in the hands of some person worthy of trust. So perhaps that's going to be the Attorney General in the state of this and the state of that. Okay, that's holding the Moors' property in trust while Hiram Abiff is laying down dead with his head in the east, and the Lamb of God, which is Jesus and Christianity, in a religious state of mind, scared out of his mind about burning in hell, or a religious fanatic about going to heaven, where his mind, his thoughts, his reality is religion. Christianity, Islam, don't matter what it is. Any of the solar religions, right? Y'all see it? Civilly dead. If you are in religion, you're civilly dead. Christianity is commerce and Christianity is political. Our treaty calls it the Christian powers. So if you are in religion, if you're a Christian, your allegiance is with the Christian power. And so you are out of harmony with nature. You're disrespecting your ancient foremothers and forefathers. Exodus chapter 20, verse 12. All right, you have committed a felony. In other words, you have broken the Most High's commandments. You have corrupted the blood of the covenant. Period. Why? Because you dishonor your ancient foremothers and forefathers. Your allegiance is supposed to be with your family, your empire, your nation, your people, not a religion. Let's keep it going. The effects shall be deposited in the hands of some person worthy of trust. For example, the Attorney General of the state of this and the state of that. Well, let me rephrase that. The person acting as Attorney General. That's more correct. In the state of this and the state of that. State of New York. Until the parties shall appear who has a right to demand them. So what gives you the right to demand them? Well, following the Most High's commandments. That's what we would say in religion. Declaring your nationality and being active. Let's say active more, that's what Noble Drew Ali called it. Or engaging in nationalization activities, which the first, and I guess the most fundamental, is canceling any contracts that we have that delude to slavery. Canceling or correcting the contracts that we have that delude to slavery. And that's what many of us are in process of doing. All right? Why? Because they are principles that delude. You know, one time I did a video about this word delude. Y'all should look up delude. I don't want to get off topic, but look up delude. Look up delude and then apply that to slavery. Okay, y'all? So nationalization. Hold on. Nationalization involves, hold on, let me show y'all. I think I have, I think I can at least show you this. I feel a little bit bad that I don't have, no, I don't have, hold on. I was hoping that I have I was hoping that I had some proclamation, name correction. Hold on. No, I don't have it. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to. Well, I don't see it. Hold on. No, I don't have anything. It doesn't feel good when I want to show something and I don't have anything. I just wrote. You know what, y'all? So, oh no, that's 1887. The 1887 Treaty of Peace and Friendship is in this book, but not the 1836. Hold on. Okay, I have to come back to that. So back to Article 22. The effects shall be deposited into the hands of some person worthy of trust. Now this again, scholars, is when Hiram Abiff is civilly dead. His mind, his motivations, positive and negative, are in the Lamb of God. His head is in the Lamb of God. His head is in religion. All right? His reality is religion. Abstract paradigm. And it continues. Article 22 continues. Until the party shall appear. Who's the party? This is when, as we showed earlier, Hiram Abiff stands erect, and his head becomes the North Pole, and his feet the South Pole. In other words, Hiram Abiff has left the Lamb of God, broken the relationship with the Lamb of God, broken the relationship with Christianity and with religion. Stood up, got up from that shallow grave and stood erect with his head in the circumpolar zodiac. In other words, his thoughts, his desires, his motivations are in the north. The stars, the constellations in the north, and the moon. So now he's reverted back to, or he's returned to rather, that state of mind of his ancient foremothers and forefathers. Let me state it differently. He's telling time. He's an accurate timekeeper. He's telling time using the stars and the moon. No longer the sun sun. No longer the religion. Y'all tell me if this is true or false. In religion, don't they tell time based upon what, y'all? In religion. The Pharaonic dynasties. You open that Bible, it's going to take you back 6,000 years. And that's where time is based from. In academia, they'll take you back 10,000 years, right? To the time where they say, if you believe the story, where they say that there were no dynasties in ancient Kemet. But about 6,000 years ago, around 4,000 BCE, something like that, the dynastic pharaohs began their reign, and the dynastic pharaohs introduced Ra, the solar deity, the sun, as God. And every last one of the solar religions, the solar deities, all 16 of them, use the solar zodiac projection as the template and the mythologies associated with it to tell their story, to tell their religious story, and to produce and promote their own doctrines based off that one template. They're telling time. Listen, y'all, they are telling time based on the sun, right? Based on the sun, on a 6,000 year scale, right? Y'all look at the Bible. Time today is based upon when they estimate, or when they say, let me put it like that, when they say the first Pharaonic dynasty began. That's how they're telling time. Okay, so this is why in religion, in Christianity, they'll tell you that the world is only 6,000 years old, or thereabout. Y'all see it? So they're calculating time based upon that. Whereas our ancient foremothers and forefathers, from time immemorial, calculated time based on the stars in the North Pole and the South Pole. Determined the seasons based upon the stars in the South Pole. Well, actually North and South. But we'll get in, I don't want to give it away. I'm going to talk about this extensively on my other YouTube channel. And I have a feeling that they've already shadow banned it because I had such a hard time setting up a new YouTube channel, setting up the Gmail email. I mean, it was like they have some type of algorithm in place to frustrate people, to frustrate you so that you don't do it. But I'm a very persistent person. I'm a very persistent man. I don't get frustrated so easily. So I work my way through it. But that's my point. All right, so we have to return to the mindset of our ancient foremothers and forefathers, which is the circumpolar zodiacal projection. Now, let's continue. So once you do that, and y'all, let me say, well, how can I say this? I don't want to sound spooky or nothing like that. But when you deal with these religions and deities, whether you do it openly or subconsciously, they will affect you. You will experience, whether it's they or you producing it, manifesting it, you will feel the impact. Especially with the tetragrammaton deity, the YHWH, powerful deity. And this deity will sabotage you, will go out of its way to humiliate you, make a fool out of you. All right? And you'll wonder how it's happening. But it's because your head isn't, your mind, you still got that religious thing going on in your mind. All right? In other words, your head is still in Aries. So he continues, he says this. Hold on, y'all. Let's let that turn off. So we're still on Article 22. All right, so here's what it says. The effects shall be deposited in the hands of some person worthy of authority, worthy of trust. That's usually going to be the Attorney General, the Attorney General's office, or the office, let me read that, the office of the Attorney General. Okay, in that office. Until the party shall appear who has a right to demand them. So how do you appear? You appear what? On paper. Y'all see that 90-degree angle? Y'all see that 90-degree angle? You appear through a holy writ. Through a brilliant, glorified, shiny, glorious writ. With your name correction, proclamation. Hold on, y'all. And clean. Clean meaning you terminated or corrected whatever contracts you have that delude to slavery. Y'all heard? This is what it's talking about in Article 22 when it says, until the party shall appear. Yeah, you're appearing, making a special appearance, right? The four corners. Who has the right to demand them? Okay? So you're clean. You're clean. You return to the mindset of your ancient foremothers and forefathers. You're keeping the Most High's commandments. Right? You're clean. Hiram Habib has resurrected. His head is the North Pole and his feet is the South Pole. But if the heir to the person deceased, oh, that's all those fathers that came before you. Read Article 22. Hold on, y'all. Article 22. It's about the fourth or fifth line down, y'all. But if the heir, see, birthright, fathers, that long line of fathers, all right? Remember what we talked about, man is mind, man is thought made manifest from the soil. Thought is a function of mind. Who our ancestors were, we are, without doubt or contradiction. Not just Moors, but we are they. Okay? But that's neither here nor there. Let's keep going. That's just for fun. 22, let's keep it going. But if the heir to the person deceased be present, page 174 of our primary textbook, the Astrology of the Old Testament, first paragraph, the fourth house signifies the father, all your fathers. How do we know? We'll keep reading. The end of all matters, the grave, old people in general, lands, houses, tenements, real estate. These are all what? Inheritances. These are all inheritances. Tilling the earth. Tilling the earth? Well, wait a minute. Isn't that actually what's meant by in Genesis chapter 2, where it says that Adam was to do what? He was a landscaper. Basically, one of his major duties was to maintain the land. Well, doesn't that make sense, y'all? To maintain the land. All wealth comes from land. So you maintain the land. You maintain all wealth, if you look at it that way. Now let's continue. There are many ways to look at that, but let's continue. But if the heir to the person deceased be present, how are you going to be an heir if you dishonor your ancient foremothers and forefathers and you're calling yourself something you're not? Wearing a name that deludes to bondage. Denying who your mothers and fathers are. In other words, you say, I'm black, I'm Latino, I'm Hispanic, I'm this, I'm that. Whatever the brand is in whatever land you're in. You dishonor your ancient foremothers and forefathers, not just in name, but what about your lifestyle? I ain't talking about your sex life. I'm talking about your lifestyle. What about your lifestyle? See, are you living in honor? Do you live in honor? meaning in harmony with nature. A thief, well, that's not harmonic with nature, right? When you steal, that disrupts the peace. That harms people. And we're not animals. All right? So now let's continue. But if the heir to the person deceased be present, we already talked about that, right? You present in honor, name correction, proclamation, terminated or corrected all the contracts that allude to slavery, to bondage. You're in honor, you are Hiram Abiff, you are the resurrected morn. With your head totally out of religion in the north, your feet in the south poles, okay? The property, once you do that, the property, we're talking about what, y'all? The natural law, reversion of estate. The property shall be delivered to him, the resurrected Hiram Abiff, the resurrected Moor. The property shall be delivered to him or her without interruption. Without interruption. It means there's not a damn thing they can do about it. They have to follow the law, the Constitution, and the treaty. The obligation. Y'all heard? Now let's continue. And if a will shall appear, the property shall be descended agreeably to that will. As soon as the consul, C-O-N-S-U-L, consular court, as soon as the council, this is the man or woman who's exercising this office or in this office to protect the commerce of Moorish Americans. And everything is commerce. See, we have a right to contract that's unalienable. It's one of the lesser laws of the universe. The right to contract, verbally or in writing. That's commerce, y'all. Okay, so the council, consular court, consular jurisdiction and venue, and the Constitution, Article 3, the supreme law of the land, the council shall declare the validity thereof. The U.S. in 1956, they gave up their treaty right to consular jurisdiction. So, there's only one council. This is the Moorish Council. The Moorish American Council. Consular jurisdiction and venue. Okay, a legitimate Article 3 court. Any other venue, Moorish American does not belong there. But that's the venue for the Negro, blacks, and colors because they're in dishonor. Right? They are property, they are chattel. But actually, well, I don't want to speak to it. But y'all take that with a grain of salt. All right? Now let's continue. Let's continue. Back to page 145 of our primary textbook. All right? So we dealt with remember, the inheritances, these are the effects. Property, lands, tilling the earth, hidden treasure, mines. We're in the fourth house, y'all. The end and conclusion. Wait. The end and conclusion of any manner of any matter or undertaking. The end and conclusion of any matter or undertaking. Wait. So you mean it says any matter or undertaking? So do you mean if there is a dispute between a U.S. citizen and a corporation is a U.S. citizen, a 14th Amendment citizen, if there is a dispute between a U.S. citizen and a Moorish American, and the fourth house says the end and conclusion of any matter or undertaking. So you mean to tell me that the end and conclusion of that dispute falls within the fourth house? Well, let's see. Let's go back to the treaty. Article 20 of our treaty. Now see, if y'all look this stuff up on the internet, or maybe, I don't know if they do it in the books, because I'm not an expert on astrology. I've already said that. But what they're going to tell you, on the internet at least, no, that's not true. In astrotheology books, they will tell you. So y'all take a look at Article 20. Sorry about that, y'all. I still haven't figured out how to do screen share on this app. Read Article 20. See, what you're going to read in the books, I can speak to the astrotheology books that talk about houses, like the one I'm in now. They're telling you that the houses represent matters concerning the man or woman, his life. Right? But life is about interactions with other people. And there's going to be challenges, disagreements, right? Some honest, others not. So obviously, we're going to be dealing with what? Law. Okay? We're going to be dealing with law, as we see right now. As we see right now. So, Article 20, this is how it reads. If a citizen, Article 20, if any of the citizens of the United States or any persons under their protection. So the protection would be the contracts that we talked about earlier. This is why we have to terminate or correct the contracts, meaning reserve our rights, or without recourse. If any of the citizens of the United States or any persons under their protection, anybody who has contracts with them, shall have any dispute with each other, the council, again, C-O-N-S-U-L, consular jurisdiction and venue, that's what it's telling us, right? Shall decide between the parties. Okay? So, the end of any matter, again, go back to page 174, the fourth house. The end and conclusion of any matter or undertaking is governed by the fourth house. So the judgment, the order. If we want to say the end being the judgment, right? But you can extend that. The end could be when you do the non-UCC1, to perfect a lien. So that you can sell it on the market. It continues. And whenever the council, and whenever the council shall require any aid or assistance from our government, the Moroccan Empire, to enforce his decision, it shall be immediately granted to him. So we are in friendly relationship with them. So if they need us to help them, as it says, let me read it again, to enforce, if they need us to help enforce, then we help them. But they're supposed to do the same for us too, right? Reciprocity. They're supposed to do the same for us too. That's the friendship. Now let's continue. And you get the same thing in Article 21, but I'm not going to read Article 21. I think I made the point. So let's keep going, y'all. All right? So the fourth house, hold on, y'all. Let me let the machine stop. So the fourth house, all right. The fourth house signifies the state and condition of towns. Cities, castles, forts besieged or not besieged. All right, so the state and condition, Towns, cities, castles, forts besieged or not besieged, all ancient dwellings, gardens. Isn't that interesting? Gardens goes back to, and it's going to be interesting how y'all see this, the Garden of Eden. And the Garden of Eden is originally the circumpolar zodiac. That's where it's at, in the circumpolar zodiac, the Garden of Eden. Okay, y'all? Orchards, the same. Fields, the same, and pastures. Okay, the same. References to the circumpolar zodiac. Y'all are going to see that. The quality and nature of the ground. The querent is about to purchase. Well, wait a minute, y'all. Land can't be purchased. You can purchase the harvest, right? So a Jubilee year, let's say the Jubilee, 49 years, the 50th year is the Jubilee. All right? All of the property is to return to the original owner, the family, whose estate it belongs to. Hold on. But the land cannot be purchased, right? What does the verse say? The land belongs to me, your sharecroppers. In other words, it's my land. I gave you use of it. You cannot sell it. That land is supposed to stay in your house to be passed from one generation to the next, to the next, to the next. It cannot be sold. Hold on. right? It cannot be sold, but you can purchase the harvest. So if there are 45 years left in the Jubilee, you can purchase 45 harvests. You cannot purchase the land, you purchase the harvest. But here they're talking about purchasing land. So now we see what? Well, this is a manifestation of the curses, where the land of the Moors has been taken, taken over. Okay, why? Because you are dead in your sins. You're a sinner. You broke the law. All right? What does the curses say? I don't know why I didn't think. Hold on, let me show y'all this. What does the curses say? When you're in the curses, you're going to be what? Worshipping idols of wood and stone. Yeah, a wooden cross. And that stone that the Muslim religion, the Islamic religions wear. Worship, rather. Hold on. Okay. Let me see if I have it. All right, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. Now remember Hiram Abiff, dead with his head in the east, which is Aries, and his feet in the west. Read that. These are the curses. And the Most High your power shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. All right? So how did they do this? Well, they just come to your house. They just come on your property and give you an offer you can't refuse. Or maybe you refuse it and they exterminate you. Right? And then they put a deed and a mortgage on your land. And then they sell the deed. Not the land, they sell the deed. Remember, the land cannot be sold. Cannot be bought. He continues. Whether it be vineyard, cornfield, parks, more or marsh, barren or woody. Now y'all, are they using more connotatively? Literally or both? Y'all look at where my finger is. Y'all see more? Do you see more right there? Are they using it connotatively? Literally or both? I think there's a double meaning here. Remember, we're dealing with a Freemason, a high-level Freemason. So let me read it again. When the machine turns off. You have to remember that many verses in the Bible have double, triple, quadruple meanings and more. The fourth house signifies Hold on, y'all. I gotta go. The fourth house signifies the state and condition of towns, cities, castles, forts, besieged or not besieged, all ancient dwellings. So the state and condition, the state and condition. Talk about status, y'all. Ancient dwellings, gardens, orchards, fields, and pastures. And I'm telling you right now, in no uncertain terms, that this is talking about the circumpolar zodiac. So what's the state and condition of the circumpolar zodiac? It's basically unknown to the Moors. Basically unknown, out of the consciousness of the Moors. Okay? Fields and pastures, the quality and nature of the ground of the querent. That's a person asking a yes or no question to an astrologer. Okay, the quality and nature of the ground. Moors are thought made manifest from the ground. The quality and nature of the ground, the querent, is about the purchase. Moors are thought made manifest. I didn't see this before, y'all. Hold on. The quality and nature of the ground. Now, y'all, what's a synonym for ground in law? What is a synonym for ground in law? Somebody tell me. Put it in the comment section. What is a synonym for ground or land in law? Man, I didn't put this together. I didn't see that. Okay, so John is the querent. The Apostle John is the querent. I'm using this analogy. Y'all see JC? Okay, we saw a similar image like that. Remember? Earlier in this video or the last one. Look at what's in Jesus' hand. Who's in his hand? A Moor. What sign is JC making? That's the peace sign. Y'all see that Moor dead with his head in Aries. Literally with his head in Aries. In the palm of Jesus' hand. Sleep. And here's John with a bill of sale. Is that a bill of sale? Look at this other thing. Is that a dove? What is that in his hand? We see the letter, the piece of paper in his hand. What is this in his other hand? Let's rotate it. Hold on. Hold on. Y'all see, what is that in his hand? Looks like a butterfly or something. So let's read it again. Look in the Black's Law Dictionary and you look up the word land and you're going to see Moor. Moor is a synonym for land. M-O-O-R, a common noun that means all Moors. A common noun, all Moors. Proper nouns are capitalized. Common nouns are lowercase. So let's read this again. The fourth house signifies the quality and nature of the ground. The fourth house signifies the quality and nature of the Moor. The querent, it didn't say the aboriginal or the native, like it says in other parts of the book, is about to purchase. So this querent if you read between the lines, could be what? The foreigner. The foreigner. Or the neighbor. Anybody can ask a yes or no question. The foreigner, let's say the colonist is about to purchase. The human, the hybrid, the colonist is about to purchase. Is this a purchase, y'all, about to take place? Or is that a purchase that's taking place? A bill of sale? A memorandum of understanding? What is that? Is it a foreign bill of attainder? Is it a foreign bill of exchange? Is it a bill of attainder? Let me correct myself. Bill of attainder or foreign bill of exchange? Both? Y'all see this is clearly commerce, right? Okay, Christianity. This is the Christian powers. With the Moor, with his head, literally with his head in Aries, dead. Hiram Abiff, dead. With his head in Aries. All right, y'all? So the fourth house signifies the quality and nature of the ground, of the Moor, the status, let me go ahead and say it, the status of the Moor. The querent is about to purchase, whether it be a vineyard, cornfield, parks, moor, M-O-R, or marsh, barren or woody. I hope y'all can read through the lines. I really hope you're able to read through the lines. Do y'all see more right there? M-O-O-R. And that's the God spell. Now, let me, give me 1 second, y'all. Let me try to, for those of you who already know this, please be patient. What I'm gonna show now, be patient, okay? A lot of people may not be aware of this. Okay, so a common noun is a noun that describes a type of person. Well, your nationality, your bloodline, the instructions of your ancient foremothers and forefathers that you must keep. The book of the law. Okay? So a common noun is a noun that describes the type of person, thing, or place, or that names a concept. Common nouns are not capitalized unless they appear at the start of a sentence. Unlike proper nouns, which are always capitalized. Let me say it again. Unlike proper nouns, which are always capitalized. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find anything else. There we are. Okay, let's read that. Common nouns are general. So mores, that's general, right? That's not talking about a specific more, a specific man or woman. Common nouns are general. They usually name classes of things, classes of people. So that's nationality, right? And places, rather than specific things, specific people. For example, Jane Doe is a specific person, right? Or specific places like San Francisco. They're only capitalized at the beginning of sentences. Proper nouns are names of specific individuals. For example, Jane Doe, John Doe, Tom Smith. They're names of specific things, places like Chicago, companies like Nike, etc. They are always capitalized, and then it goes into some grammar. Okay, and typically not modified by articles. Articles would be the. So you wouldn't say the Nike, but you would say the more, right? Or the Moors. You wouldn't say the Nike. You would not say the Ford Motor. Well, you could say, no, you wouldn't say the Ford Motor Company. You just say Ford Motor Company, right? Y'all see it? And are not modified by articles, determiners, or adjectives. Talking about proper nouns now. All right, y'all. All right. Let's keep it moving. The Lord, the landlord, the Lord, the sovereign, therefore denotes the Father. So, y'all, is this talking about when we deal with nature, the Lord? Are we talking about a physical man? Or are we talking about the Hermetic Laws? Masculine and feminine. Masculine and feminine mental energy, or the law of gender, mental gender. The Lord, therefore, denotes the Father. Now, my point is that under the solar zodiac system, the solar zodiac projection, and the mythology, the religious doctrine associated with it, the focus was taken off of the mother. In other words, the mother was humiliated, hidden, defamed, discredited, degraded, and the father was elevated. So in other words, in the circumpolar zodiacal projection, the mother the mother is raised on high, is glorified, is praised. And there's no mention of a father, ever. But is it talking about a physical mother and a physical father? No, absolutely not. It's talking about cosmic. It's talking about cosmic mother and father. In other words, it's talking about masculine and feminine mental energy, or the Hermetic law of gender. When we look at this in the circumpolar zodiac projection, we will talk about JC, Jesus, being named after his mother, Virgo, and Jesus having no father. Therefore, he takes the name of his mother because that's a cosmic conception and birth. So when we look at the first of the Hermetic laws, keeping in mind that all the other Hermetic laws emanate from or have their origin, they come out of the first, which is all is mind. The universe exists in the mind of the all. So the law of gender, all of the Hermetic laws are what? Unified into one. So there is no masculine and feminine energy in the first Hermetic law. It doesn't exist until it is emanated out of the mind. Okay, so we're talking about cosmic energy and not physical male and female at that level. But I understand what the author is saying. So when we look at Lord here, when we take it all the way back, we're dealing with what I just talked about. But in the Bible, when you deal with Lord, you're dealing with that and landlord. So there's no need for people to get upset and debate about man and woman, like I have seen so many times. Women get upset, men get upset about this issue. Okay? So the landlord is both the man and the woman. All right? The landlord is the autochthonous Moor, the rightful heir, who is thought, made manifest from the soil, which is land, makes us Moors, right? Makes us the rightful heirs. These are our fathers, and we are mind. Thought is a function of the mind, where all of the Hermetic laws are unified. There's no masculine, there's no feminine energy, all right? In other words, they have not emanated out and been separated according to the law of polarity. It's unified, okay? So we should be unified, right? So the Lord therefore denotes the Father. It denotes, well, we just covered that. The governor or commanding officer, owner of houses, or commander of army besieged in any town, of an army besieged in any town. Now we see why our people never had a problem with women being in an authoritative position. And we see why the hybrid or the renegade Moor, the dirty Moor, the Romans, we see now why they reversed or they flipped it using the law of polarity. Right? They denigrated, disrespected the mother, and promoted the father. Y'all see it? He continues. Owner of houses. Now, y'all know that houses can be a physical structure, or a house can be a man and a woman, or it can be a household. Let me put it like that. It could be a household, a tent in ancient time. In modern times, they would say what? A family. okay, your kinfolk, houses, or commander of army, a man would have an army. Well, a woman can have an army too, right? Deborah, the judge, she was over army. The Amazonians, army, okay? So houses, connotatively speaking, so everyone understands, we houses families, or commander of an army, that's masculine or feminine, man or woman, besieged in any town. Well, you can be, well, we're besieged right now, right? And then it says, besieged in any town, castle, or fort. Besieged by the de facto jurisdiction of the foreign United States, and state of this and state of that. Y'all see it? When we look between the lines, look at this astronomically or astrotheologically. It is the north angle. The fourth house is the north angle. Now, is all of this coincidence, y'all? It is the north angle. It's a feminine house. Do y'all see that? It's the north angle. Remember, the resurrected Hiram Abeth, when he resurrects himself, stands erect out of that shallow grave, his head represents the North Pole, and his feet the South Pole. It is the north angle. What kind of angle, y'all? What kind of angle did C.M. Bay tell us? It's a 90-degree angle. Because Hiram Abeth, the resurrected Hiram Abeth, who resurrected, who saved himself, is standing at a 90-degree angle to his former position where he was lying down, with his head in the east, with his head in Aries, the Lamb of God, which is Christianity. His head, he has a religious state of mind. So therefore he is what? In the curses. His feet are in the scales of Libra, justice. The curses have been executed on him, but he returns to the Most High by going back to that state of mind that was ancient foremothers and forefathers. And going back to that state of mind is called what? True religion. True religion, it is a reversion back, or a binding back to nature, a binding back to the North Pole, the North Celestial Pole. A binding back to nature. So the fourth house is the north angle. Wow. Is a feminine house. Its color, red. We went through red in the third house, or yellow. That's the color of the third house too. Or rather a dirt color. Or rather a dirt color. So what's a dirt color, y'all? Ruddy. Ruddy. Okay? Listen to that. Look at that, y'all. It is the north angle. Is a feminine house. In other words, what, y'all? Matriarchy. Its color red or yellow, or rather a dirt color. If the sun, sun, and Venus in this house, in the fourth house, are in good aspect to the Lord, to the landlord of the ascendant is Aries, y'all, or second house, the native, well, in this case it would be the first house, right? But ascendant means that the sun is ascendant. The native ain't said nothing about, oh, this is the native. The native, the Moorish American, the autochthonous, indigenous, original, as in original father, the native will have an estate fall to him by means of his father, especially if the Lord, the landlord of the eighth house, behold either of them with a good aspect. So I think here the Lord would be the planet that rules that house. Y'all know I'm not an astrologer, right? It signifies the husband of the mother. So the consort of the mother, the fourth house signifies the consort, the masculine consort of the mother, being the seventh house from the 10th. The money or wealth of the brethren, the money or wealth of a nation, the gold and the silver. You can't make this stuff up. If this is not clear as day to y'all, I don't know. Hi there. I like your glasses. Do you want to see? Y'all see? The money or wealth of brethren. That's the money or wealth of a nation. It signifies the husband of the mother, being the seventh from the 10. Semicolon, the money or wealth of brethren. All right? The money or wealth of a nation is gold and silver. Cute little boy. I don't know if y'all can see him. Give me 1 second. Let me give you something to look at. So the money and wealth of the nation, well, you don't have anything if you can't defend it, right? Nobody needs to tell us that. So that would be what, y'all? Also to include, you want to see? Come on, take a look. You can see. That would also include what, y'all? The executive power, the power to enforce. The power to enforce. Hi there. The power to enforce, right? The power to enforce the supreme law of the land, which is the Constitution and treaty. All right, y'all? So I hope everyone is able to see that the fourth house is also dealing with Constitution and treaty. All right? Constitution and treaty. I remember. I need to show you. Give me 1 second. I need to. 1 second, y'all. One second. So let's just deal with how this matter, the native will have an estate fall to him by means of his father. So we're dealing with your right, reversionary right of estate, right? I think that was Article 22 that we dealt with. I wish I had my writs. Y'all go to enforcetheconstitution.org and then look at those writs that are dealing with the reversion of ancestors. Take a look. That are dealing with ancestral property. Okay, enforcetheconstitution.org. Give me 1 second. Let's deal now with being the seventh house from the 10th. So we count backwards, right, y'all? So I'm learning about the houses. Y'all can do also. Y'all go to, man, I don't know if Mr. Astrology, I don't know if his website is still working or not. Y'all go to search you know that the beautiful thing about children is that they can make you feel good, right? They make you feel happy. The whole world can be crashing around you, you know. But when you see a child, they're so happy, innocent, playful, makes you smile, right? Makes you forget about your troubles. Y'all search Santos Bonacci on YouTube, and he has a lot of video. Well, he has a really good video about the houses of the Zodiac. He explains it, and he does it. He's a good teacher. So y'all can learn about the houses there. He actually teaches you how they work. He just doesn't give you the facts, but he tells you the relationships and how things work together. I don't know if I'm being clear, but if you watch that video, I wish I could remember the name of it. You understand why it's constructed that way. You'll understand the meaning of it, why it means that, everything else. All right, y'all. So y'all see this? You see the Roman numerals? That represents the houses. So of course, the circle in the middle would be the S-U-N sun in the middle. Okay. The Roman numerals 1, 2, 3 going counterclockwise. So we're in the 4th house. Hi there. You want to say hello? Yes or no? Say hi. No? Okay, you're shy. He just want to play with me. So do y'all see the 4th house? It's the 4th house. All right. So it says it's the 7th. Does it say the 7th house from the 10th? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here's the 10th house. So y'all see the 10th house is at the opposite of the 4th house. So count from 10 to 4. You get 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. So 7 houses, it's 7 houses away. The 10th house is 7 houses away from the 4th. Do y'all see it? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Everybody see that? That's what he means. So go check out Santos Bonacci's video on that topic. He'll tell you how it works. So that's it. That's it for today. Assalamu alaikum, Islam to all the Moors. I, self, law, and master. I hope y'all learned something. I hope you give some serious consideration to the circumpolar zodiac projection and what it means. Hope you can understand and look out for the videos that I start doing. My new channel is called Astrotheology, Dr. Yasapa. That's it, Astrotheology, Dr. Yasapa. MD and BA. So y'all Google search that, subscribe. So I'm gonna do those, I'm gonna do that book only on that channel. I'll try to multi-stream to this one, but if I can't figure out how to do it, so if I'm not able to multi-stream, you have to go to that channel. Go ahead.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Yeah.
If I can't figure out how to do it, y'all, okay? But maybe tomorrow I can do the first live stream, hopefully, and maintain both. If y'all have any questions or comments, let me know. Like I said, I'm not an astrologer. If you want to give me some information, I'm open to it in terms of interpreting the information. I wish I had pictures and all of that, but I'm just one man. If y'all want pictures, you can send in fiat finance, and I can pay a local artist to create images for me, or buy some of these really old books that are in good condition, and then I can have those images painted and scanned, and then I can show y'all images. All right, but up until now, regarding the circumpolar zodiac projection, I haven't seen any images. And what they do have is scandalized. Sick stuff, really sick stuff. These hybrids have a sick mind, very sick mind. Assalamu alaikum, y'all. Hold on. So let me give it a second. If y'all have any questions or comments, or if y'all know a numerologist or an astrologist who's willing, or just, if you know somebody, y'all let me know. Put it in the comment section, because I would like to have an astrologer or numerologist come on and, give us insight from an expert opinion, especially about the houses, and the numbers. So I'm gonna wait a few minutes to see if anybody puts anything in the comments section. Y'all don't be shy, okay? Oh, by the way, this is something y'all might want to, this is something that y'all should get. But again, this comes from easy to find on enforcetheconstitution.org, restoration of consular court. Y'all, this is so important. This is critically important. Not just the information, but to actually do it. I think the author of this document is Taj Tariq Bey. Okay, take a look at the images in the header. Take a look at the images in the header. So if you take a look here, y'all see the pyramid with the capstone detached, the sun and the eye. Take a look at that image. So let's take a look at this. We're going to come back to that. So this is Noble Drew Ali. Look who's in his arms. Do y'all think that's the woman, the widow? Is this the woman, the widow? Huh? The son's mother, the widow. Y'all see that? Take a look at the images in the header. Take a look here. The crescent and the moon. I'm sorry, the crescent and the star is not the moon. Take a look at that. Also the fez. Take a look. So let me pull up. Hold on, y'all. I want to. Give me one moment. So take a look. So now hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second, y'all. So this is Moore's Order of the Round Table. So take a look at this document. So what I'm talking about right now are the images and the headers of the documents that we just looked at. So here's the five-pointed star that we talked about with the highest principles in the universe. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Y'all see that? Adam Kadmon, Hiram Abiff, standing with his head in the north. His head represents the North Pole. His 2 feet are what? Freedom and justice in the South Pole. The North Pole is what? Love. Okay, y'all? Y'all see it? So let's look at the other images that I just showed you. You see the crescent and the star? The pyramid? Take a look at the images. So in this document, you can learn what these images mean. Y'all see that? All right. The solstitial line, or the North and South Pole. The equinoctial line. Okay. Aries in the east. And in the west, Libra. Hiram Abiff laying down dead, civilly dead, and standing up erect, perpendicular to his former position, with his head representing the North Pole and his feet the South Pole. Now, you can get more on that and the six-pointed star again in C.M. Bay's Clock of Destiny. Okay, now let's go specifically. Do y'all see? Hold on. Hi there, little guy. All right, y'all. So I'm not going to read through these. I just want to show y'all where you can learn about. Hold on. It's difficult for me. Okay, y'all? So, what I'm showing you is our culture and the ancient meaning of these symbols. And of course, modern application on our writs. How we use them on the holy writs. The brilliant, glorified, sunny writs. Okay, y'all? Now, this image, there's a lot more to this. The capstone, where the sun is and the eye, that's the chief cornerstone. That's the Christ. Detached, notice, it's detached. It's detached from the pyramid. It's detached from the pyramid. Y'all see that? In other words, y'all hear me out. Mark chapter 4. JC said that what? He would make the Moors unable to perceive what they're actually seeing. I'm paraphrasing. Although having eyes to see, they cannot perceive. Although having ears to hear, they cannot understand. So the mind is uncoupled from the eyes and the ears. And the head is still what? The head is still in Aries. Solar zodiacal projection. And y'all, by the way, when the sun is in the clouds, the rays will form a pyramid. As the rays of the sun break through the clouds, it forms a pyramid. Y'all look at the picture on my other YouTube channel, Astrotheology, Dr. Yasapa. You'll see it. This shape of a pyramid comes from nature. The sun rays breaking through the clouds form a pyramid. So that when Hiram Abiff stands up erect with his feet at a 90 degree angle, 90 degree, so that's perpendicular, right? That's a square 90 degree angle. Squares have a 90 degree angle. There can only be 4 sides. Okay, standing on your square. That's one meaning of it. Then, the chief cornerstone is reattached to the body or to the rest of the pyramid. It's reattached to the rest of the pyramid. So let's continue. So here's the fez in nature and the 6-pointed star. So the images, the ancient symbology on our holy writs, our glorified writs, we need to understand what they are. And thanks to Taj Tariq Bey, we can see what they are, right? And the information is very, very accessible. All y'all got to do is go there, go enforcetheconstitution.org, and you can download this document and have it yourself. And here is the AA 222141. AA 222141. This correlates to Title 22, Chapter 2. I think it's Section 141. I don't remember exactly, but I think that's what it is. But it's a classification of Aboriginal status. Aboriginal meaning Moors. All right? So remember the Franks? The Franks, you'll find out about the Franks or the Franciscan Brotherhood in the Clock of Destiny. Y'all read that. AA 222-141. Read that really quickly. Y'all see its relationship to our nationality card, which is proper, authentic identification of your status and political allegiance. Hold on. So there's so much here, y'all. And I want to read something to y'all. Hold on a second, okay? Hold on. So this is, I don't see the page number. It says Moors are not citizens of the Union States Society, but are the people, that's we the people, but are the people of the continental United States. So y'all saw the continental flag on one of our documents, right? Being part and parcel of the government to which the Union of States are obligated. That's right in the Constitution, right? The obligations that existed before this Constitution are still in force. So the obligations are under the Articles of Confederation. And we the people, so we're the creditors and they are the debtors. So no need for UCC 1 or for the UCC period, right? The constitutions of the two nations, diversity of citizenship, right? Two bloodlines, in conjunction with treaties, Treaty of Peace and Friendship 1836 between these two parties, are the working tools for adjudication, Article 22 of the treaty, Article 21, and jurisdictional arguments, procedures, and venue, consular jurisdiction and venue. Keep in mind the duality of the Great Seal of the United States. So all of this is there. Here we are. Here we are. There we are. Y'all see the Great Seal, the pyramid? See the images? So go through this so you can learn. Excuse me. Now, here, y'all see here? The pyramid is not detached. The pyramid is not detached. Y'all see that? The pyramid is attached. I'm sorry, the chief cornerstone, rather, is attached to the pyramid. It's not separated. That's the goal of the Moor. Self-mastery. Your head representing the North Pole and your feet the South Pole. Self-mastery. Man, know thyself. Get out of religion. Get your head out of Aries. Do y'all see this? Master. Okay, y'all. I think I'm gonna have to cut it out now because in this case, I'm gonna have to go, y'all, because they have the music. I don't want YouTube to take the video down. Can y'all see that? So these are the flags on our holy writs. You see the Moorish, the Moroccan Empire flag, and then the continental flag. Note also the evergreen tree. It stays green, alive in the winter, as well as the summer. Okay, so it represents what? Life everlasting. The other trees, the leaves fall off and they die. They don't become active again until the spring. But what else? The evergreen tree produces turpentine, natural turpentine, 100%. Turpentine kills parasites. Parasites cause cancer. Let me rephrase that so YouTube won't take my video down. Whenever I talk about something that has to do with health, YouTube takes the video down, gives it a strike. So let me restate that. Turpentine allegedly kills parasites, and parasites allegedly cause cancer and diabetes type 1 and maybe 2. But y'all search YouTube and you can find out more about that. So what is it telling you? What is it telling you? Y'all think that do you think that it was for fun that our ancestors put the evergreen tree on the continental flag? There's no winter in Brazil that I know about. But the evergreen tree also grows in Vietnam and other tropical areas. And during our days in physical bondage, our ancestors used the sap of the evergreen tree to treat illness. Can y'all imagine? They had to eat pork, all manner of pork. And y'all know pork is not food. Pork is not food. And pork is full of parasites. Imagine that. In the 16, 15, 17, 1800s, you're eating the parts of pork, the intestines of pork. All the parasites in that. But yet our ancestors survived. Now we know why. Not just because of the mineral content of the soil and the vegetation, but because our ancestors used 100% pure turpentine, the sap of the evergreen tree. And that sap, according to our ancient ancestors, kills parasites, prevented cancer. And those who had cancer returned them to normal health. Y'all think they didn't know what they were doing? Astrologically or cosmically, the evergreen tree represents life. It doesn't die, but it thrives in winter. And for the Hebrew Israelites, they call it a Christmas tree. And I understand why. But you should also consider Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 8. And then use your analytical and critical thinking mind. The evergreen tree is beautiful and it is good. So now, go back to the Holy Writs. So the information is here for you to learn what the images mean in the header of the writs. All right? So this is a cedar pine. So the flag of the Al-Moroccan Continental Confederation, the Continental Congress, right? Our ancestors. And we are they. Is a red flag with the white cannon displaying a green cedar pine in the center of the cannon. Our Al-Moroccan Continental flag was also taken down in 1774. Y'all know why? Because that was part of a ceremony that was done when land was taken by Escheat. It's called size something. For some reason I don't remember size something. But when they would take the land of a Moor, they would perform a ceremony with two, I think it was 7-year-olds, maybe 7-year-old or younger, and they would beat those two 7-year-old babies to a half inch of their life so that they would remember, so that they would always remember for the rest of their life. Y'all can look this up. That the Moorish Americans gave that property up to the foreigner. So they would, as a ceremony, they would take a part of the house, a doorknob, some physical part of the house, or a branch, or something out of the yard, like a tree branch or a tree. So in this case, George Washington chopped down the cherry tree. Y'all see what I mean? They took down our flags. Okay, y'all? They took down our flags as part of their ceremony of them taking our property. Y'all go look it up. I wish I could remember the name. Now, Aries, y'all, turns out Aries is a remix. Aries is a remix. It has its origin in the northern Zodiac projection. Okay, y'all, I'm going to get into that. I'm going to show it. All right, so y'all can see circle 7. Now, the boundary here, this circle, the boundary, let's go here. This circle is an imaginary line around the universe used to facilitate taking time, chronology, calculating time. Okay, y'all? That's what that means. So take a look at the fez. Y'all see our titles that link us to the land? Ali, Il, Bay, Day, Al. There are 5 of them. And now y'all can see the remixes. You can see the Pilgrim's hat, which is a remix, and the mortarboard hat, which is a remix, okay? Y'all saw the squared edges of the motorboard, 90 degrees. All right, y'all, that's all I got. Islam to all the Moors. Did y'all put anything in the comment section? Hold on. Nobody put anything in the comment section? Is it because you're uninterested, or is it because you don't know what to ask? Or y'all, I mean, what's happening? Tell me something. There we are. Y'all see that? All the culture, all this culture is there. All you need to do is download these documents. That's all you need to do. Download the documents and you can get the culture. Because remember, we're supposed to return to that state of mind of our ancient foremothers and forefathers. Okay, y'all? And then you'll understand what these holy writs are saying. So here's Old Glory. Oh, okay. I wish the images were better. But, you know, we got to deal, whoever wrote this document, hopefully they can find the time to make the documents make the images more clear. And of course, there we are. So y'all, this is the binding back. This is the true religion, nature, binding back to nature. The laws that govern nature, not religion and religious doctrine. Okay, so the laws that govern nature, civics. This has been remixed into religion. Okay, still nothing in the chat. Boy. All right, y'all. So I waited. Nobody put anything. I'm tired. So I'm going to call it a night. All right? So we're going to pick back up on the 5th house, page 174. So now we're dealing, 5th house again is dealing with judgment. This time judgment concerning children. So judgment, we're going to be dealing again, not just at the level of a household or a tent, but also nation, well, let's say tribe, nation, and empire. So consular jurisdiction and venue, consular court. All right, y'all? Wow. The 5th house, y'all, is also dealing, The 5th house, we're also going to get into status. It says here in the 5th house of the state of a woman with child. Status. Moorish American. Or you're in bondage, stateless. Black codes, right? Anyway, Assalamu alaikum, Islam to all the Moors, I, self, law, and master. I'll see y'all on the next one.